IELTS is a video game, and if you understand how to play, your score will increase dramatically. And study at the university you want or move to an English-speaking country as soon as possible. After helping students in the IELTS exam to get a high score, I've learned secret cheat codes that will guarantee the proper way of preparing for IELTS. But 99% of IELTS test takers don't even know about it. And it's no wonder when you take a practice test, you will still get a band 6. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in most of the cases, it's not because your English skills are bad. Just like a video game, once you understand how to play, you will be able to advance through levels faster than 99% of students. I am giving away everything for free so that you can achieve any dream you have, whether it's studying at the university you want or moving to a country of your choice. What if I told you in IELTS writing task 2, your ideas should not be interesting? It's not just me telling this. Even IDP wrote an article about it. What they're telling in this article is that interesting ideas is not what they're looking for. What they're looking for is how well you can write. In addition, they're also telling that your score is not based on personal opinion or any arguments. So my suggestion for you is do not always try to agree with the statements in your writing tasks because you are assessed based on how well you write, not based on your opinion. And I know it works, and I can guarantee you that you will not waste your valuable time in writing coming up with complex or intriguing ideas. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Ideas aren't always a problem for many people. But there's one thing that a lot of students do that I'm gonna be really real with you. Beginner IELTS students make one mistake that IELTS examiners hate. And this is probably the reason why you are getting low scores in your exam. Until they understand them, they think that IELTS examiners are against them. Before telling it, let's have a look at these two. Which one do you think will help you to increase your lexical resource score? You might think it's the second one because it sounds more complex. But this is not the case. Instead, I advise you to use topic-specific vocabulary. For example, in this case, the first one is natural habitats, and this can be used in just one topic. IDP have also shared one advice that I haven't seen anyone sharing it. What is this advice? And why do many people ignore it? So, I want you to answer these two questions. Will you get a lower score if your speaking test was shorter than 11 minutes? And the second question is, will you score higher if your speaking test was longer than 14 minutes? My answer is no. The length of the speaking test in IELTS is not considered when assessing your IELTS score. And again, this is not just me sharing this information. Even IDP told it in one of their articles on their website. If you want to take one step further, I have to tell you the best advice I've ever heard. Not knowing this is a gigantic problem. Most people think that you cannot change the angle of the topic that the examiner asks if you're not familiar with the topic. But that's not true. For example, in speaking part 2, if you have to describe a car that you own, you can say that you don't own a car and you can talk about the disadvantages of owning a car and you can say what you use alternatively. For example, you might say that you use public transport instead of a car. And this is completely normal. it has zero effect on your speaking score. And you can tell that for the entire 2-minute time. There is another point IELTS students must know. But unfortunately, this is a point that 99% of IELTS test takers mess up with. Have you seen people using filler words in their speaking test? For example, they might use filler words like well, yeah. Let me tell you one thing. Avoid using these filler words because this shows the examiner that you're not sure what to say. So the examiner might think that you can't access to the appropriate language or ideas. So it's better to avoid them and use some alternatives. For example, you can use that's an interesting question. I've never thought about that. But let me see. That's a good point. That's a difficult question, but I will try and answer it. Some people say that this is the case. However, let me think about that for a minute. There is no harm in taking a brief pause to think about what to say. We all do it to process questions. You can use phrases to give you time to think during the speaking test. So, don't forget that you don't need interesting ideas. You need to use topic-specific vocabulary. The length of your speaking test doesn't matter. Changing the topic angle is okay. You have to avoid using filler words. And you need to use other phrases that I told you in the video. If you want, you can rewatch some parts of the video to better understand them. This video has a lot of good information that a lot of people don't even share for free. You are taking your precious time to educate yourself about IELTS and being more productive than 99% of people. Most people are just sitting and scrolling on TikTok. Have a great day and subscribe. If you want to watch a Band 8 IELTS speaking interview, you can click the video you can see here.